Hey guys, welcome to Deck's Water Adventures. Well, we've done quite a bit of work on the boat. I didn't film everything. Let me bring you guys over here and show you everything. Kind of spent yesterday pulling off all the hardware on the boat. As you can see, the two handrails above the two consoles are gone. The side rail is gone. It took some effort to figure out how to get those seats off, but they actually slide right off really easy. Got those off. We did kind of sort through some of the wiring yesterday. A lot of that wiring wires back up into the motor, so I still have to figure some of that out. Started kind of planning what kind of wiring I'm going to need, what access holes that I have to run wiring. And as most people know, these, or may not know, these Wahoo boats are full of insulation in the floor. They're made so where they can't sink. So there's insulation all back here, along the sides, and the whole front up there is full of insulation. So makes it rather hard when planning on trying to figure out how to run wiring. I did notice I wasn't planning on putting a lot of holes in this boat because I like the fact that it won't sink. Believe you can cut the boat right in half and it won't sink. But I'd already have some holes that the previous owner has put in it and done a really poor job. As you can see, that one right there. There's quite a few of those along the boat. And so I may reuse some of those. I definitely don't like the way they've sealed them up. As you can see down there, it's really, really cheesy. I think they just used like a clear silicone caulk. They're on both sides, by the way, that side and this side. I don't know what they were for. Maybe they were for some lights. I don't know. I still got to figure that out. So got the railing off yesterday. We're gonna start the sanding soon. I got all this off. I was not able to get this off. I have a funny feeling that this bow tie here, this anchor down, has a bolt with a big nut on the underneath of it. And so there's really no way to access under there. However, the wood is all was rotten. So I've cleaned some of the wood out. Still not sure how I want to tackle that. I could put an access port right here, leveraging one of the 4, 5, or 6 inch ports. Looks similar to that one right there. And they come with these covers, but over time, like even this cover is missing its rubber boot, and the rubber boots that are in there are not very good. They're wore out. So again, it would be another place for water to come into. So I don't know if that's something I want to do yet, but I do know I want to get this off and get this sorted out, get this cleaned up, sanded down when we do the sand down. Uncovered lots of spider cracks. You may not pick them up on the camera, but as you can see, there's lots of areas where there is actually spider cracking going on. Watch lots of videos on how to fix that. Those are not an easy fix. I mean, they take time, and a boat like this, I have a lot of those. So I still have to figure out, learn how to do those and fix those and repair those. Like I said, I know there's lots of videos out there. I've been watching them and seeing how they Dremel it out and they get it down to fiberglass and they get it all repaired. Hey, that's just something else to tinker with and to figure out. But for today, what we're going to do is we obviously have this really ugly bottom paint on the boat. And it goes down the side and it's underneath. And between you and me, I'd really like to get that off. And I'd like to keep the gel coat, get it to the point where I can get that nice and shiny. I don't really want to paint the whole outside of the boat because the outside of the boat actually looks pretty good. The gel paint is pretty good. There's some areas that I do need to fix. that I do need to do some repairs to, but most of the gel coat on the bottom of the boat is really good and rock solid. So there's a couple things I'm going to do. I went and purchased. I want to do a test. I've watched lots of videos. I'm going to test this citrus strip. I've never used it before. It's a paint and varnish stripping gel. I'm only going to test the small area. I don't know. I've done a cutout. Some of the plastic that I'm going to put over it that I'll put on that to keep it from drying up on me. I bought a respirator, which I know my wife for years has been telling me you need to start using respirators. I've got the filters in there and I've got that all set. I bought just a little $3 brush. This is really a throwaway. I actually bought a couple of them. So if I go to do a bit more of the citrus strip works, I'll be able to do a little bit more. And I also bought some chemical gloves so that these are heavy, reusable gloves that the stripper can't penetrate. So that's kind of what I bought. This is my first attempt at it. And really, this is just, obviously I bought the small bottle because I really just want to do a couple test areas and see what happens and see how that works. So let's see. Let me get everything, and we're going to move over there to the boat, and we're actually going to do some test on this now, so that you guys can see how I apply it. I know there's lots of videos out there with people applying this stuff. It's not an easy thing to remove. I think this is what they call ablative bottom paint, meaning it's soft and chalky, and it comes off really easy on your finger. There's lots of little holes. This will be part of the stuff that I'll be repairing and fixing, obviously. But so let's see, what all am I going to need here? Let's go ahead and get these. First of all, let's get these gloves on. I have glasses on. I'm only going to do a very, very small test area, but it's always important to wear protection with this stuff. I've watched lots of videos and talked to lots of folks, and paint stripper is not something to be taken lightly or to apply unprotected. Not only that, but I'm a very happy grandfather, so I want to stick around for my kids, my grandkids, one day. So we're going to go ahead and mask up. It's kind of hard to talk in this mask, but I don't know. Maybe I'll add some music or something while I'm doing this, so you can actually hear what's going on. Well, you actually won't be able to hear very much, but obviously you can see I'm a newbie at this, so I'm still trying to figure out how to even put this thing on. Not so easy with rubber gloves on. Okay, got it on. All right, so gonna do this little area right here. I probably better put something down. Let me get a little cup. Put some of this stuff in. I don't know how well this paint stripper works inside of plastic. I would imagine it might melt it, but we're going to try a little bit of it. Give it a good shake up. And I believe, yep, okay. I'm going to go ahead and put the mask on and just get this open.
what we're going to do is we're going to pour a little bit in this plastic cup. I hope the plastic cup doesn't disintegrate on me. We're not going to put a lot. I'm only doing a test today. I want to see how well it works. You know, I've heard lots of people saying that that stripper doesn't work very well anymore. I guess there were some chemicals that used to be in them that's not in them today. You know, don't know, but we're going to give it a try and see. We're just going to try this little area right here. Then we're going to cover it up. I'm going to give it a little bit of a stir. And I've heard you want to put this stuff on pretty heavy. So you want to put it on in a thick coat. Yeah, just about that thick. I've heard the thicker the better. You know, I don't know. It's my first time doing this, so don't really have a clue, but I'm gonna do what I've watched others do, and I'll put it on pretty thick. I don't think it's a very fast acting thing. I think it takes a little bit of time. So that's what we're gonna do right there for the day. Then I've got a little bit of plastic that we're going to come along here and we're going to cover it with. This is to mainly keep it from drying out. I just used the kitchen bag, so. All right. So I think just with that small amount, the fumes shouldn't be too bad. I can't even smell it. Maybe something's wrong with me. Can't even really smell it. So I put the lid back on. Oh yeah, I can smell it now. All right, so we're gonna go take this this cup here and this brush. I think are pretty much garbage now. I may try to clean it, but as you can see, I put a little trash bag over it just to see how it works. It's only a small test area. I mean, to be honest with you, listen, I had some friends on their sailboat, and they had a whole sailboat to do of this stuff to take off. And it wasn't easy, and I watched them for days online sanding, and man, it seemed like they really took them a long time, and then I think they ended up opting for, I don't know, I think it was sandblasting or whatnot. Go check his channel out. It's Chris Does What on YouTube. It's pretty cool overview that he did of bottom paint. It is not an easy job to do. I told myself I will never do it, but here's the deal. On this boat, I want this bottom paint off. I could opt on, because this is a blade to bottom paint, I probably could have opted to put a coat right over it and called it the day. But this boat is a trailer queen, and this boat will be most likely just used in lakes and rivers and stuff. Well, we may take it to Florida or whatnot once or twice, but it won't be in the salt water very much. However, one thing I did learn is this boat did come from Florida. So kind of interesting. Came from Florida, then went to Oklahoma, and is now here in Texas based on tracing down all the paperwork and everything. So anyway, so I'm going to let this dry. You know, I think this thing says, gosh, how many hours? Shake well, pour in the container, apply with a paintbrush. After 30 minutes, scrape a small test area to see if finish is ready for removal. All right, so if that's 30 minutes, I don't know if that seems like that would work. If it's only take 30 minutes, everybody be using this stuff, and Noah would be sanding down boats. But hey, what do I know? This is my first try, and this is the first stuff I'm trying it with. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it will work. Maybe it's better than what I think. I don't know. These people don't pay me or anything. It's just I watched a lot of videos, and everyone says that they use this and different cleaners. I will be redoing the motor, but I know I'll be doing a aircraft paint remover on it. Looks like somebody already tried to paint it once, and then replace the blower end with a different colored one. So we'll be stripping that one too. But this is our first go around at learning how to strip. Anyway, so guys, hey, I'm gonna let this cook for a little while, and we'll be back here in a little bit. I was kind of show you guys the results, let you know how this stuff actually works, and if it even worked. It will make the difference of whether we're stripping or sanding, and hopefully we're stripping and not sanding. Anyway, be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Let's see. It's been about 35 minutes now since I've applied the citrus strip, and I don't know, it's about 60 something degrees outside here in Texas. And my shop building's probably in the upper 60s right now. It did not dry out. It's still pretty moist under there. I noticed this bag is starting to shrink up a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead. I did test a little section here, and surprisingly, I took the plastic off after 30 minutes just on this little corner, and I noticed it was kind of like the wow factor, like, wow, it's taking this stuff off, man. I'm like, wow, okay. So now we're past 30 minutes, and I'm just gonna make a little clean area here. I don't really want to make a huge mess right now, because when I do this whole boat, I'll obviously do it out in the driveway or in the driveway. That way I can pick everything up, and any debris that falls down, collect all that, and dispose of that properly. But we're gonna go ahead and pull this off now. You can see it's really, really moist. Let me see if you guys can see this. Let me move a little bit closer. You can see that it's still really moist. Now let's just take a little razor blade real quick. We'll just do a little test. Oh yeah, it scratches right off. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this off, and we're gonna test this little area right here. And in the light area, it came off. In the darker area, it's still got a little bit of time, I think. So there was a drip here, kind of like this drip here. There was a drip right there of thicker. Let me see if I can get you down in here and see. It was a drip about right here, and I did notice when man, it makes it, and I'm having to scrub a little bit. This is just like a Scotch pad. Let's see, it's Scott Bright. I don't know, it's not too rough, but it's kind of rough. But it seems like in certain areas it may be coming coming loose in that thick stuff. In some areas it may not. Like, see that area right there? So it may not. So it may need, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. And I'm gonna push some product up there too. I'm gonna give it about another 15, 20 minutes. Oh wow, yeah, I can see that. I'll push some product up there. Yeah, I can actually see where the black, where it's actually moving. If you see what I see that right there? See how the black is actually, it's actually stretching out, and even more. I got some product right here. Let's move some of that product up to that area. Now let's let it set. We're gonna let it set for about another 15 minutes. I really think it's working. And I think it's working really well enough where it may come off with a Scotch-Brite pad, which that would be super nice if it was that easy, but people tell me it's never that easy. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna let that set for another, I don't know, 15, 30 minutes and see where we get from there. I'm thinking this product might be pretty good, and it might be pretty good for this, for what I believe to be ablative bottom paint. But I don't know, I'm no expert at it, but we'll see. So let's give it about another 15, I don't know, about another 15, 20 minutes. I mean, it says you can leave it on up to 24 hours. So I don't think it will hurt to leave it on longer. I think it looks really successful so far, but we're gonna let it set longer, so be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Let this set another 20 minutes. I think we're gonna go ahead and pull it off this time. Ooh, yeah. Stuff just like gooey, man. Really goo. Wow. Man, I hope this stuff works. Still very, very moist. As you can see, a lot of it come off right on the wrapper. Of course, this is just a little Walmart bag. I thought, why go buy a box of shrink wrap when I have about 100 grocery bags in there? I've mixed up some soapy water. I don't really have any kind of way to neutralize the stripper. What I might do, I'm gonna give it a couple rubs. Let me move you guys in here a little closer so you can see. All right, so let's give this some rubs and let's see what's going on here. Wow. Wow. So far, I'm super impressed. There's that line right there. You can see it right there. It doesn't look like it removed that line. Now, this stuff's been on here for probably years, guys. And as you can see, a lot of it's wore off over time. And so we're gonna apply some pressure. Well, applied a little bit of pressure and wow, came right off. Some areas didn't. Some areas did. Man, I really need let's use this rag here. Let's neutralize some of this for a second. I don't know if it'll neutralize it. I think there's something you're supposed to use to neutralize stripper. If I can get my spray bottle to work.
Now, I think what I might do is I might use a pressure washer to take this off. You know, I think I'm outside of where I actually put this stuff. Well, maybe not. Applying a little pressure on that line. That stuff is that's a little hard to get off. And there's some little dots, but overall, you can see now where I'm getting where I didn't apply it. See, and just with this thing is not going to remove it. Let's give her another wipe down. Well, we definitely know that I don't think this stuff likes soapy water. Doesn't really clean very well with a soapy water. There may be some kind of chemical or something you're supposed to use or something to get that off. I really don't know. But you can see, get a good idea of how well this stuff worked. I mean, guys, I'm pleasantly surprised at how. I'm gonna get my good wire cutters. I was cutting a wire a minute ago. You can see, wow, you get a little dirty place on your rag, and it will just reapply itself. Isn't that hilarious? But I guess the soapy water seems to be removing it a little bit. But you can see, that's what you kind of end up with. Let me move this a little bit closer so you can see it. So, guys, I mean, we're talking about 30 minutes plus another 20. I mean, we're 45, 50 minutes. That's 60 minutes, less than that. That's not bad, considering that's kind of what it looked like before, and that's what it looks like now. I mean, overall, I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm really impressed. I did not expect it to clean off that well. Now, I don't know what it feels like to the touch of the hand, but it definitely feels still a little rough. I don't know why. It would feel rough. Obviously, you know, this stuff is probably, it's been covering this paint for forever. And what's so interesting, I mean, it looks like in some of these areas, it looks like an orange peel, but I know this bottom paint, the blade of bottom paint is meant to wear off after time. So it either happened one or two ways. Somebody put this stuff on a long time ago and it's just been slowly, gradually wearing off. Or somebody didn't apply it right and prep the boat correctly to get that off. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this right here, I'm gonna thumbs this up because this to me means less sanding. And one thing I didn't notice is nothing fell on the ground. So it didn't flake off, it didn't chip off. So there's not been multiple coats of this. I would say this is probably one coat that's been wearing off over the years. And so really everything that was captured, you could see captured in my rag. So listen, I'm no boat expert on bottom paints and stuff, but in that small area, most of it was captured on the rag, and you can see on the Scotch-Brite, it captured quite a bit too. I don't know if that will clean out,
But what I will tell you is this to me means less sanding. This also means that I can slowly do areas. I'm not in any big rush, by the way. I can slowly, as you can probably tell, I can slowly do areas a little bit at a time and just give a more applied focus. Because one thing I do have to do is there's a lot of holes in this boat. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves is holes in fiberglass. And we're gonna have to repair all those holes. We're gonna have to do fiberglass work and get all those holes sorted out and repaired. Somebody's just caulked them. But I'll be honest with you, if I get this type of result of this whole back, I'll be tickled pink. I gotta tell you, I'm already super excited. I didn't use but just a little blob of that stripper, and I did this much area, and I know this, you guys, it doesn't seem like an overly huge area. It is only a 16-foot boat, but it's got a lot of this bottom paint all on the bottom. So it's all down there. It's all under there. So there's a lot of bottom paint for me to remove. Look, you can see some of it dripped underneath and went underneath the boat. And I just wiped it with my finger. And look, you can see the amount. Oh, wow. It actually started coming off under there too. So you can see it works. It does work. And I think it seems to work really well on this. So that answers the big question I had is, do I want to buy more of this stuff and attempt to do let me show you one more thing too. So I did a little test on the motor with this stuff because I wanted to see how well it worked. So let's check this out. This is one little area. Let's see if you can see that. This is one little area. I'd be willing to bet this motor has been repainted, but I don't know. It looks like the base there, but look at that. The paint peeled right off of it. I'll give you a better shot. It's literally on the plastic, and you can see how that took that paint right off. That's really cool because that's also going to save me some time. Now, I do know you got to be careful. You got to be careful around, all your rubber pieces, your intakes and stuff like that. But here's what's even more interesting. Getting this boat, I did notice that the motor lower is a different color than the upper. So what I'm guessing is this is not the original lower that came on this boat. However, this lower works really well and runs really well. So I went ahead and put some of this on what I would call almost like a yellowish green color to see if it would come off. Now let's peel this one off. Look, there's nothing on it. Let's take an old shop rag and let's just wipe that. Okay. It does look a little different. As you can see, does look a little different. Looks as if let's spray some soapy water on that and see what it looks like now. Okay, so I really didn't see what I really wanted to see on that. You can see it definitely made some kind of indentation, but the coloration is still pretty close. So I don't know if it looks like it might have just taken off some of the oxidation that was on it, but did not remove the paint. So maybe a little bit more work and sanding and whatnot on the bottom there, but I would go so far as to say thumbs up to the citrus stripper. Seems to work pretty good. Didn't feel as toxic as everyone says strippers really are. So I don't think it's going to be that bad. Well, I say that. Wait till I'm on my back, laying under the boat, and getting all of that stripped off the back. probably going to be a different story. But in another video, we will be taking the boat off the trailer and putting it on stands to do the bottom. So it should be a little bit easier. That will have to be done outside, and unfortunately, we're shuffling into wintertime. It is getting cold, so that's just something we're gonna have to deal with. So guys, I would go ahead and say, if you're wanting to know if on an old bottom paint job that is pretty semi wearing off, as you can see, I mean, this is kind of what the back of the boat looks like. You can see a lot of it is worn off. It's quite a bit underneath the boat, but on the back of the boat. So I would say this: if your boat is like mine, and in this stage, this citrus stuff seems like it might work pretty good. Might be a pretty decent investment, but I know boat anti-fouls. A lot of boats have different kind of anti-fouls and have multiple coats. And so, in my case, this is going to work. If you have 4 or 5 coats of anti-foul on your boat, I don't know. You would have to test it. I've seen videos of this stuff, and it seemed to work pretty good on those, but it is layer by layer by layer that you have to do. But I also know if it cuts down on the amount of sanding and dust flying around, that's huge, because I'm obviously, when I do the sides, I'll do this back and I'll do both the sides in the shop. It'll obviously make it nice because I can do it slowly and I can perfect it. So when I do start the bottom outside, I won't have a lot of dust. Now, you say, you're still gonna have to sand that, Decker. Yeah, we're gonna have to sand it. I don't know if I'm gonna talk to some experts. I don't know if it's gonna be a wet sand, or if it's gonna be have to be a dry sand, or if it's gonna be just a buff out. I very seriously doubt it's gonna be just a buff out. Look at that stuff, it's still wiping off up there. I very seriously doubt it's just a quick buff out job. There ain't nothing gonna be that easy for me. So anyway, if you're wondering, does that stuff work? Hey, worked great for me. Hey guys, if you like this video, hit that like and that subscribe button. Put some comments in there. Tell me what you'd like to see a little bit differently. Or if you like the content that I'm putting out there, just let me know. If you got any opinions, hey, I'm always open for opinions. I'm learning as I go along doing this. I'm by no means no expert. And I watch videos myself to learn how to do this stuff, and been very grateful for all the content creators out there that have put stuff out there that teach me stuff. So anyway, hey, have a great day, and Dex Water Ventures out.